All right, welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a revolution that's unfolding as we speak, right where computer science and biology collide. We're going to explore how artificial intelligence is, amazingly, learning to read the most complex instruction manual ever written, our very own genetic code.
So, let's just jump right in with a massive question. What if we could understand every single one of the 3 billion letters that make you, well, you? I don't just mean read them like a book. I mean understand what they mean, what they predict, how they all connect. You know, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is the real challenge and the incredible promise of modern genomics.
Now, to really get why AI is such a game changer here, you first have to understand the problem. And the problem is a deluge of data. A flood. It's created this huge bottleneck where we're basically swimming in information but starving for actual insight.
To put this into perspective, the genetic code between you and, say, the person sitting next to you is different in about 2.5 million places. These tiny differences are called SNPs, and they're what make each of us unique, but they also hold the clues to why some of us get certain diseases and others don't. Trying to find the important signals in all that genetic noise, well, it's a monumental task for a human brain.
And here's the kicker. This data isn't just big, it's growing exponentially. The sheer amount of genetic information we're sequencing is doubling at this incredible rate, way faster than our ability to make sense of it with old-school methods. We've literally created a data tsunami, and we need a totally new way to ride that wave. So, how on earth do we solve this? Well, this is where the hero of our story comes in: artificial intelligence. It's acting like our genetic translator, finally helping us understand the language of our own DNA. At the heart of all this is a concept called machine learning. Basically, it's a type of AI where computers learn directly from the data itself. You don't give them a rigid set of rules to follow. Instead, they look for patterns and connections, things a human researcher could never, ever spot in billions of data points. It makes it the perfect tool for the messy, noisy, super complex world of biology.
So, what does this look like in practice? It's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, you feed the AI these enormous genetic datasets. Step 2, the model churns through all that data and starts to identify these incredibly complex patterns. And finally, step 3, it gives you an output you can actually use, like predicting a person's risk for a certain disease. It's kind of like a spell checker for our DNA, except this spell checker has to learn the entire language from scratch.
And the potential here is, well, it's truly transformative. This quote from the folks behind ChatGPT really puts it into perspective. The whole idea isn't just to build a slightly better tool. It's about creating a collaborator, something that can work at and maybe even blow past the skill level of human experts. That's a huge shift in how we even think about doing science.
Okay, so let's get out of the theory and into the real world. How does this amazing technology actually get us from lines of code to life-saving cures? The jump forward here is just immense. I mean, the old way of analyzing genetic variations, it was painfully slow, took months, and it was super easy to make a mistake. Now, with AI, a process that used to take all that time can be done in minutes. And what's even more important is that AI can spot totally new patterns, not just the mutations we already know to look for. And we've got the data to prove it. Studies are showing that these AI models can correctly sort through and categorize over 2/3 of disease-causing genetic variants. Now, is that perfect? No. But it means they can flag thousands of potentially harmful variants that might have been missed otherwise. For researchers and doctors, that's a massive accelerator. It's a huge step forward. And the applications are just exploding everywhere you look. AI is helping us discover new drugs by pinpointing the best molecular targets. It's cracking problems that have stumped scientists for decades, like DeepMind's AlphaFold predicting the shape of proteins, a 50-year-old grand challenge in biology. Solved! It's even being used to combine genetic data with medical scans to create these incredibly detailed patient profiles. It's amazing.
But, and this is a big but, all this incredible power doesn't come for free. It has risks. We have to be really aware of the algorithm's blind spots and be super smart about how we build and use these things.
The key thing to remember is that these models, for all their power, can also be pretty fragile. They aren't thinking. They're not conscious. They are unbelievably complex pattern-matching machines, and what they spit out is just a reflection of what we put in and how we design them.
So the challenges are pretty serious. First, AI models can hallucinate. They can make up answers that sound totally plausible, but are just plain wrong. They can also pick up and even amplify the biases in the data we train them on. So if our genetic databases aren't diverse, our AI's predictions won't be fair or accurate for everyone. And of course, there's the huge question of data privacy. We're talking about our most personal information here. So if we can navigate these challenges, and that's a big if, where is all of this going? Let's look at the future of health, at what this revolution really means for you and me.
What we're seeing is this fundamental shift away from one-size-fits-all medicine toward a future that is truly personalized. So imagine, instead of a standard drug for a disease, you get a therapy designed for your specific version of that disease. Instead of waiting for symptoms to show up, we could spot your risk from your DNA years in advance and help you prevent it.
Just take a second and really picture that. A world where medicine isn't just reactive, but it's predictive, it's personalized, and it's preventative. A world where your unique genetic blueprint is used to create a health plan that is tailored specifically and only for you. That is the ultimate promise here.
It is an absolutely incredible vision for our future. And look, while the road ahead definitely has its challenges, the convergence of AI and genomics is already putting us on that path. So the question really isn't if this is going to change medicine. The real questions are how fast, how profoundly, and how do we make sure it's a future that benefits all of us?